it's here, the final Galaxy Note 4. I presented you this one on the IFA, but just on a small, short video. Now we have a little bit more time to have a more intense look. First of all, that leather, meaning plastic leather backside over here, it's looking way better than I thought, and it's feeling better because it's given your fingers a very good grip. I like this one. Yeah, very much, yeah. And especially this metal ring around here that reminds me on this little friend over here. This is the Galaxy Alpha. And if you compare the edges, and especially on this outer ring here and these a little bit bigger edges, you will see it's exactly the same design. That's nothing worse, of course, not bad, but just want to say this is very high class, very classy, looking very great. And coming to the dimensions, it's exactly the same like on the Note 3. All right, 0.2 millimeters smaller, and some grams, or to be precise, 177 instead of 168 grams. But that doesn't matter on these big tab phones, or schnitzel as I call them, because this one is big. You do not mention these millimeters or grams at all. Especially the display is the same size, but as you might have heard, the resolution has almost doubled, because now we are not talking anymore about full HD, but QHD, meaning 4 times 720p or 1440 by 2560 pixels, bringing a pixel density of 518 ppi. And to go a little bit closer so that you can see, for example, these tiny texts over here, totally sharp, very crisp, compared to the Note 3 that has been at a PPI of 388, a very good value nevertheless, but it's you see the difference, of course, especially on tiny text like this one. And as you remind that Note is a working device for drawing and writing and whatever you can need, all the pixels you can get, especially if you think of viewing videos on this big screen. 5.67 inches. Wow, that's great, feeling great looking. Unfortunately, Samsung didn't build in better speakers. It's again this little tiny mono speaker on the back side. I would have had expected, especially on a phone like this, that we have big speakers over here, stereo speakers on the front. Unfortunately, it's not, but okay, the display is so good that we might be okay with that. Especially because we do have now a totally brand new processor, the Snapdragon 805, and the Adreno 420 GPU. And I've run some first benchmarks on this one, as you can see here, over these, and altogether they are a value of 82% above the average. Average meaning the total smartphones I've tested in the last 12 months. So meaning not all-time highlights, but just the newer comparison, the newer phones of this of the market. So totally comparable. And then again, 82% quicker than the average, especially on the graphics. That's coming from the called Adreno 420. This is, for example, GFX Manhattan off-screen, 129% above the average. So especially for gamers, I could imagine a very interesting phone. Especially because of this one over here, like always on Samsung, this is a really great thing. You can extract the battery, and in case, think of gamers after 4 or 5 hours of intense gaming with bright light on the front screen, you might first extract the battery, second one in, or as this one is a quick charging mode, 3220 milliampere hours, so meaning almost the same roundabout like on the Note 3, but with the cable and the charging module that's inside coming with the Note 4, you will have after 30 minutes, round about 50% from 0 to 50% battery status, and from 0 to 100% in round about 100 minutes. I've tested that. That's indeed totally correct. So in most cases, it should be okay coming round about with one battery over the day, even if you're using it very intensely. And as we are on the back, of course, there's a new camera shooting photos now with 16 instead of 13 megapixels, and especially optical image stabilizer. These are working a lot better than the normal regular digital ones, because they are just the little shakes of your hand, or especially if you're thinking of recording videos very smoothly. I hope so, at least. We have to test that, but normally optical image stabilizers are doing a really good job, and especially think of low light situations. You have long on photos, long durations of shooting, so the little shakes of your hand you always have are now with this optical image stabilizer gun, at least I hope so. And as we are on the back, by the way, these are the things you might know from the Galaxy S5. First is, if you put your finger on it, the sensor is measuring your heart rate, and very new, not on the S5, just only on the Note 4 over here, the amount of O2 in your oxygen in your blood. Just hold your finger on here, especially interesting for sports, of course. And down that mechanical button on the front here, you will have again that fingerprint reader you all know from the S5, so you can unlock, for example, your device, or log in websites. I would be a little bit careful. You can also pay via PayPal just with your fingertip. As you know, this can be copied without any problem, so I would suggest to use, if it's going for money, with a PIN or a password or whatever, not only with a fingertip, but that's your decision, of course. Just wanted to show you. Yeah, and of course we have the stylus and tons of new features. I cannot show all of them in just one, because it would take at least an hour, I guess. You know, this one, this air commander popping up just when you pull this out, or if you're tapping on this little button over here. And by the way, the stylus is now with these little edges down here, so giving a very good grip. Put on this and you have this one. You have, for example, Smart Select here, but I wanted to show something else, because I really love this one, that you can now, and you do not need the stylus, of course, it's working with your finger too, just pull down and minimize little pop-up windows. Or for example, let's take contacts over here. Oh no, I can do it better with my finger. Going here, reposition it, resize it, whatever you want. And especially you can minimize them to these little icons. That's working in all your apps, at least with the Samsung apps. But if you're just, let's say, in WhatsApp, these apps are working too, of course. And you can enlarge them again, or just drag and drop till the front over here, and then it's going to full size mode again. So this is very helpful, that you do not have always to tap this back button to go to split screen mode if you want to, with these things like you know from the Note 3. And another feature I didn't really know, to be honest, that was on the Note 3 already. I haven't seen that, so I would present you this one for one-hand mode, especially because I really always have that problem. Sometimes riding a train or whatever, I just have one hand, and then it's a problem with these big schnitzels to use with just one hand. But now, as you can see here, you have total usage. You can do whatever you want to on the screen like you know it, including those buttons for volume, plus and minus, whatever you want to, task manager, everything is here. And this is a 4-inch screen, so you really can reach almost the corners with one finger. And if you want to go back to the normal mode, regular mode, you're doing this gesture again. It's working, of course, on both sides. Even if I'm a righty, I'm trying to do so, at least, as you can see here. Normally, yeah, here's going. I'm not good in left things, so as you can see here, I'm trying my best. Yeah, now it's working. Here we go. So this is a nice feature I wanted to present to you. Nevertheless, it's not new, but it's great. So these are tons of that. I could do more for an hour or something like that. So please. Do not go down to this for everything. Just a quick impression I wanted to give you. Yeah, it's available right now. Yeah, and here comes the price, and that's the big minus in my opinion. Recommended retail price, at least here in Germany, Europe, is 769 euros without any contract. I've seen it in the web around about 700 without contract, 700 euros, but that's still heavy. But let's wait for Christmas. As I remember last year, Christmas Note 3, there have been tons of activities and bonuses and whatever. So this will get, I hope so at least, again, a little bit cheaper during the next month. All right, I hope this is okay for you for a first impression of the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. Thanks for watching, and please remind to recommend my channel and to subscribe to it. Thanks for that in advance too. Take care.